Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly shop steward today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding fantasy RPG Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And we are playing in our custom setting of the Spires of Paridar, a setting of a Coalpunk setting of occult conspiracy, class disparity, and industrial progress. And with me today are the stalwart illuminators themselves. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing? First up, we've got Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Golag, son of Doc. I'm an orc witch detective.
Very nice. Next up is Ingolf.
Hi, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Basil Rathbone, who is an Izoki investigator, and I'm afraid of water, I suppose, right now.
Nice. And at last, but certainly not least, is Darren.
Yeah, down here I'm playing Dr. Adam Ersprung, and he's, as always, got his trusty sidekick Igor along.
He's looking a little rickety, though, poor Igor.
Yes, it's a little beaten up.
So last session was a an eventful one, but also a pretty hectic one. Eventful because our one player, we only learned after the fact, but that was the first fight with a dragon that James has had. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let me bring you guys over. I did find an illustration that I think will help capture the mood a little better. Now, while there are elements of this that are not going to track properly, like the other folks in the background and the fact this is daytime, I did not have time or inclination to try and put filters on this to make it look like night. The 70s day for night, technique of slapping a blue filter on. But I think it gives a good idea of like the visibility of the kind of foggy coastline and the size of your ship, much better than the tall ships we had been using. So, what happened last time, guys? And let me see if I can assist with some visual aids here. Here we go.
It's quite a straightforward recap, really. We just tried to stay alive. We was trying to dispense the poison off the ship to try and kill off this. We still haven't got to the bottom exactly what it is. This sort of living sort of weed or whatever's protecting the Dark Rider eggs near the ruins. So we were dispensing or dropping over these cans of poison into the water, and that's when we met this. This creature that you've called the Watchdog, accompanied by a number of the sailors from the Black Wall with Dark Riders.
Yes. So the Dark Tide Riders seemed attached to them. This is the first you've encountered a living one. And then...
So we have a couple of buddies to give to the insurance. I mean, we'll be proud. It will be money.
Indeed.
So it was a very a near thing, as you may say, but you guys did manage to triumph thanks to Golag digging deep on his or in his witch heritage or witch connection, and blazed a psychic bolt.
Cutting word.
Right.
It insulted and it turns into an attack. When it comes.
Yes, he hurt its feelings to death.
Yes.
And that thing collapsed in the water. It was the last of the at least moving foes. Basil avoided getting a new hat successfully, or Basil, which was good. And I think almost everyone except for Basil took a time. Oh, and Ms. Dumer took a time on the ground briefly. But fortunately, you have managed to finish dispensing the poison, and I think we left with you guys sailing out of the harbor, away from the, or away out of the cove, and then away from the harbor or the direction of the harbor at Dag on the sea, away on the coastline, just trying to get some distance, and that's when you noticed that you were being followed.
We did come under fire as well, didn't we, from the shoreline? There's quite a few.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah. There was a bunch from the shoreline that opened fire on you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, was it just... it was a number of fins this time, wasn't it? Multiple fins?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was one before.
So then, anything else I'm missing? Then, we pick up with our illuminators on the boat and heading away. The boat has definitely seen better days after all the fire. It's not like there was a full platoon, opening fire from the shore, but there were certainly enough shots to cause a not insignificant amount of damage to the ship. Do we recall who? Of course, it's Sally. Sally noticed the fins. So next best one was Golag. So Golag, we can assume that as you're getting things sent up, maybe you're hearing a creaking at the back. You may recall that the watchdog creature destroyed the kludged together mechanical apparatus, the poison dispenser that Dr. Ersprung had put together. You were able to still dispense it. It's good that you guys had a backup plan. You're able to still dispense the poison with the individual cans. So you've gone back just to see if there's any, damage maybe to the rudder, and that's when you notice these fins following behind in the fog.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we were going to give a chapter head. I guess we have that title now. Fins in the fog.
Yeah. The fins are back. Golag calls out.
Okay. Dr. Ersprung, I think we probably find you just making sure that Igor's not going to fall apart on the deck. And Basil, what did we see you doing? Where would that find you?
I think Basil is just looking at the amulet, hoping that this will be the one thing that will help them now, because he's out of other ideas.
Okay. So, Golag has called out that the fins are back. What happens next, guys?
Are they a similar size to the fin we saw originally, the single sort of fin?
If you go that, I know it's quite foggy, but if you narrow your eyes and really try and train your focus, can you see what I see? It's just off the edge of vision. It is an excuse to start this session with a perception roll. So,
everyone, or
just Dr. Ersprung. He was the one who was asking about information. He seemed to be seeking.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't start with that.
You want to hero point that?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's noon my time because we were chit-chatting before, so everyone gets a hero point. Look at that! Holy smokes! So what you can tell is that there are, for one, there are more, certainly. There are like 4 different fins that are in here, and one of them, you are by no means a, marine biologist, but one of those fins looks substantially larger and more weathered than the others. Shark skin, at least, at a glance, has that sleek kind of, look to it, but over time, especially with how long they live, their hide can become battered and scarred and whatnot, and the fin that is sticking out of there is a weathered, it is not a clean line on the back. It's got old scars that likely healed before you were the people who make up your form were ever born. I was going to say before you were born, but that's really not that long ago. So these seem to be, at least one of them seem to be something new. And with a roll that good, I think maybe there's a storm lantern that that's swaying on the back of the ship or something like that. Although I can't imagine why you would have that lit when you're trying to sneak in. Maybe it's a break in the clouds that gives just a little bit of extra moonlight, and you can see that there are figures, look to be vaguely humanoid, distorted by the water, that are either swimming alongside or hanging on to these sharks.
Yeah, I'll point that out to the others. You know, there seems to be creatures hanging on to the sharks.
As well, too. I'll give you one to just save a future question. I mean, obviously, the Dark Tide Riders seem to be able to attach to different things. Whatever is in the water is most certainly not human. The limbs are too long. The body shape is just, even accounting for the distortion in the water, whatever is down there does not seem human.
Could I guess it was the sort of the creatures we saw around the church?
The sea devil,
yeah, the sea devil.
I don't think you guys ever saw them. You saw the markings, right? Am I wrong about that?
I thought one come into the church.
Yes,
we were hiding behind the bench.
It would absolutely. Yes, you did. It would absolutely be like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'll point that out. There seems to be sea devils amongst the sharks.
Yeah. So, I will hold up the amulet and say, let's just hope that we can use this to our advantage. Maybe we can communicate somehow with someone. I don't know.
Or trade, maybe. Yeah.
A trade, yeah.
Sean, is that a holiday themed muggle? I mean, I guess it's November already, but holy fuck.
Yep. It's happened. It's happened.
It's happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people joking about it online, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this is also, I just fucking posted yesterday about all the sessions in all of our campaigns till the end of year, so really I guess I shouldn't be pointing fingers about, you know, putting the cart before the horse, as it were.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys do then? Right now, they seem to be keeping a distance, and you are watching them all, Dr. Ursprung, and at present, they just seem to be following behind. And curiously, they're not, like, circling, they're not going under and coming up. They seem to be just keeping pace for now.
Yeah.
I think we can turn right or left. I mean, right now we are heading for the open sea, and we should maybe, now it's time to turn.
Yeah, I think we're going to try and come into the coast a bit further along, weren't we? Maybe
Yeah, we were pulling
along.
somewhere else.
So which of you is going to assure the captain then that Ramirius will always turn left when he's doing the... No? Not for Red October fans.
Oh, yeah. At the bottom of the hour, he always turns left, yeah.
Exactly.
Crazy Ivan.
Exactly.
Yeah. How'd you know? I didn't. I needed a break.
Yeah. All right, I gotta rewatch that film again. It's one of those ones you forget how many fucking great actors are in that thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so what if you turning right from here would mean turning out to open ocean?
No, and then we turn left. I mean,
turning left would be moving yourself in closer, and you do not have any sounding maps here. So you're not sure what...
I just right now I'm a little bit confused. I thought we were going just perpendicular to the shore and just out into the ocean, and I just proposed to follow the shore now.
Why? I understood that you guys were turning and following parallel with the shore because you guys were sailing away from Dag on the Sea.
Yeah, but we first we were just going out, and then we want to go parallel. Yeah, that's perfect. And
that's where I thought you guys were traveling. Yeah, is that you were traveling parallel?
Yeah,
so
okay.
Then, do you wish to turn out to open ocean by turning right?
No. I think we should be. I mean, we could move a little bit closer to the shore, but mainly stay parallel. I think that's okay.
Okay, so not turning in response to these things then?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, they were watching, so
when did
it doesn't seem like they're attacking right now.
how soon did they appear? Do we know how close did they appear to our encounter? Was it very much long after? Do we know?
You first noticed them while traveling parallel with the shore.
Okay.
So it's tough to tell.
I guess it could be that where we're going is drawing them. You know, where we are, where we're going. There's something about location, perhaps, that they weren't there. We don't think they were there before, and now they're there now. So, you know, there is some. I guess there's something to be considered that if we keep going, if that's the case, they may take further action. But that's theory. Obviously, that's just theory. That may not be the case. So we have to just.
Okay.
But we have got to remember they did come onto the boat, didn't they? When you were on your own, and they didn't attack you or do anything. Yep. So they seem more interested in sort of surveillance or watching us and seeing what we're doing rather than trying to kill us or attack us. Yep. Which is unlike them, if I remember rightly. Their sort of mentality is they're quite aggressive and quite nasty.
I'll say that was before we put our stuff in the water.
Yeah.
So there's that to be considered. I don't know what the reaction to that is, but it's something to be considered. Put that on the table.
What I'm saying is they might be interested in getting rid of these dark-tide rider eggs as well. So Hopefully. They might be watching us to see what we're going to do next.
Oh, they're protecting us. There we go. Maybe.
Well, I don't know about protecting, but I don't think they're out to get us.
At
the moment. So hopefully.
So just keep going. So everybody, is that what everyone?
I think just keep an eye on them for now. Just keep going.
Okay. So after about a half hour of travel, what you see, Dr. Earthsprung, I'm assuming you're keeping watch at the back, is that some of them seem to sink down, and the large one in particular seems to go beneath the surface. And then I would like Golag to give us a craft check, please.
Right.
Crafting, forgive me. Okay. So you find, Golag, that as you're going along, the wheel seems to suddenly try to turn to move you out to the open ocean. The rudder itself seems to be fighting you, trying to turn. Right now, you're like, whoa, gee, and keeping it on course. But it's as if the rudder itself had a mind of its own and was trying to turn you towards open ocean.
So they're messing with the rudder, trying to get us out to ocean. I think now it is definitely location based. They're getting us presumably away from something.
So Golag, it's taking all of your strength. That was barely a success. It's all of your strength to try and keep this thing on course right now. All those years of yachting lessons that you resented with your father, it's all coming home to save you now.
Yep. And we're under wind power right now, or
yes.
What are we?
Yeah, this does not have any steam engine.
Mechanical.
Yeah.
We could also work to stop. That we could also loosen the sails. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah. So Golag is currently like and is
having trouble here.
Yeah.
Should we loosen the sails? Should I let them steer it? What do you think?
I think we should loosen the sails and maybe go to anchor here if we can. I don't know how deep the ocean is.
Yeah, you kept yourself fairly close to shore, so you'll be able to weigh anchor here easily.
Well, the question is this aggressive, or do they want to just get away from the shore so they're not seen as well?
He's like, it feels it.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to steer us, but is it to attack us, or
what if we go?
Let me put it this way. So if we go further out, then we are basically in their hand. I mean, we are maybe now, but there might be still a chance. But the more we go out,
What if we U-turn? So what if we turn around and go up the shore rather than down the shore and see if they have the same behavior? Because we want to get away from the town. Well, there's two directions to get away from the town. and we're going in one and they don't like it, why don't we take it? Why don't we try the other one? And if the same thing happens, obviously we have to reevaluate. But I don't think the same thing's going to happen. I think they're going to allow us.
One thing. Oh no, I think not enough time has passed. I was going to say, I with the half hour hand waved by, I wanted to give you an opportunity to try and heal again or focus if you'd like. But you guys did heal recently, so you need the hour in order to recover. Golag, you could get a focus point back though.
Okay.
Well, I have got my my skill.
Oh, do you have something that allows you to do it more than once per hour?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
can't remember what it's called. Where's it gone?
I think
Healers
Golek, we
back
should
in
try
tricks.
to reason with them.
Oh, reason?
To
Yeah. You want to
recovery.
contact them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So why don't you give us one more batch of healing rolls here, Dr. Earthfront?
Okay, I'll do it in the order. So Golag first. 18.
Okay.
18
right.
points. Nice.
Sure.
And then Basil. And
Very
then
nice.
myself.
18, 22. Nice.
64. Nice.
Great. Okay. So then, with the with this, is that the intent then, Golag, to kind of like let it go around and then try and force it back so you zoom around?
I will. I'm going to. I'll call for loosening the sails. So loosen the sails up there. Let's give us a minute, so we
Okay.
don't antagonize them while we consider our options. Let's,
Sure.
And I start giving out the, pull the jib, let the mainstay go, or whatever, some nonsense. We're coming about, whatever. So let's. So I say, what do you? So Basil, you want to? You prefer trying to make contact? Do you?
I just don't know. I'm just now looking for, I don't know, a long shot, as you say, because I'm just trying now. The only thing we have that might be related to anything going on here is this amulet. So maybe I will be cursed. Maybe I will see clearer now. I would just put it on and hope for the best.
You mean while trying to contact them, or otherwise?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd say it's up to you, because I do think that if we turn around and go up the coast rather than down the coast, my theory is that they'll leave us alone and we can move away from Dagon the Sea in the other direction. But if you want to take, we have an opportunity. They're here. So if you want to take,
Yeah,
that
but if
to,
we turn around now, we're going back to Dagon the Sea.
yeah, but we'll go past it. I mean, the idea is we can move away from it to another dock, like our plan was, but in the other direction.
Okay.
But if you want to take this opportunity to contact them, I will give you the
but I
opportunity.
don't know even if that works. It just might be that this is this wonderful plan where you're waiting for one vision to happen or something and nothing happens. It just feels that you have this amulet on now.
You could be best friends if we just give it a chance. I say.
Well, you may not know, Basil actually didn't grow up in Paridar. He came from a small coastal town called Innsmouth. And
Exactly.
yeah. So, with a little bit of effort, I think you're able to get the sails down. And with that, the momentum of the ship stops, and then you drop the anchor. You hear the rattling of the chain as it goes down, and then it stops. And then you hear nothing but the creaking of the wood of the boat that you're on, or ship that you're on, and the lapping of the water. I think we can hear that.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah. Here at Bleakwater
It's going.
Docks. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Basil, you're on. Anything we can?
What you can see if you look over, Basil, anyone who looks over, you can see that the sharks have now once again resumed their pattern, and it seems as if they've grown in number as well. You can easily see when the moon pokes through the humanoid forms under there as well. That goes on for a couple of minutes. If you want to do anything, you can do so. If you just want to wait and see what they do.
we could. I know it's aggressive. But we could lower you a bit to the water and make a disturbance to get their attention.
What?
Like a boat in a marlin. Put on the end of the pudding.
I'm trying to facilitate your wishes.
I just flashback memory of Basil on a rope and some water from a previous investigation.
I'm trying to facilitate your wishes.
Why always the bait? Why always me?
It's your idea. My good man.
No. My idea is to put on this amulet and hope, and I'm just doing that now. Come on, it's not so much fun to talk about it all the time. I think I put it on and hope that I will maybe feel something or gain some insight, or maybe I will be cursed. Whatever.
Okay. So you put this thing on.
Dun dun dun. I will add to the theory that the growing number of fins is probably bad, so that we gain their attention as we headed in one direction. As we continued in that direction, as the fins grew. I would say it's speculation, but
they shrank and then they grew.
They shrank and then they grew.
Dr. Erstrom can tell you that some of them disappeared, including the large one, and then there was
there was more.
Yeah. There was about 20-minute period where there were seemingly less fins following, and then suddenly the rudder started turning, and then all this happened. Sorry, Darren, I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say, it may be just the concentration around Dag-on-the-Sea. There's just more of them near that location. That would be my first guess, but because we were going away. But...
Where are you all on the ship? Relatively speaking.
I'm at the helm.
Okay. Once the thing lays down, the rudder is back under your control once again. Whatever was going on has stopped. Sorry, Ingolf, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking that Basil is somewhere near to Golak, although it seems not a safe place to be on the ship, but who knows?
Okay. Dr. Earthsprung?
Yeah, I'll be probably near the back. I just want to keep an eye on the fins and the creatures.
Sure.
Just looking for anything that could tell us if they're sort of friendly or potential attacks or whatever. So yeah, just studying them.
Okay. So would you each give us a perception check, please? Okay. Ooh. Oh, Anna says congratulations. Is that including your bonus from the investigation?
Nope.
Okay. So, Basil, you are the one who first hears. There are times when you wish your ears weren't quite as sensitive. Claws gripping the exterior of the hull and making their way up. The first of them crests almost in time for that moonlight to poke through once again, illuminating their dripping, wet, sinewy form.
Okay, so let's see.
And the first looks like that.
You're daring off.
Yeah. Can't get me if I'm not here.
Yeah. Plot armor.
Exactly. We tease
So
John
maybe...
and Night Below about that. Like, we'll leave on a cliffhanger and you'll be like, oh, sorry guys, I can't make next week.
Gotta go.
So one of them makes their way over.
Yeah.
And then a second, and then four more, and it's all near the other end of the ship, the front.
Yeah.
In total, you think there are about 12 that have come up, all wielding crude weapons similar to what this thing has. Mm-hmm. And with your perception roll too, Basil, I think you're able to sort of suss out that there is one among them who seems to have some different accoutrements on him. Something that, if you did happen to live in the abyssal depths of the ocean, it would be stuff that wouldn't come off while swimming, but that would mark you with a station within the their community. This may be their priest or their chieftain or their headman, headwoman, whomever. So they get up and they all slowly, you all, as soon as you hear the first wet hand go over, that's when Golag, you're able to see what's coming over your ship. Now, while these things do have a sinister cast to them and their tails are languidly going back and forth as if stalking prey, they are keeping their distance. So you guys are at the back end of the ship. If you spare a look over again, Golag, you can see the sharks, and it looks like some other figures are still down below. And there's about 12 of them that have made their way up at the front end of the ship and formed kind of a U formation along it. But they advance no further than about halfway in the ship. Who are we yelling at? Oh, people walking, of course.
I think we should also advance a little bit and then try to talk to them.
Okay.
Like reasonable, civilized people.
The snapping, like the sharks that they so favor, suggests that civilized chat may not be something they're looking for, but we'll see how Basil does.
Yeah.
So,
I would just try the languages I can speak, like Common or Draconic or Infernal.
okay.
Right.
Maybe a little bit Orcish.
Okay. So you're saying a couple of things. That's great. Yeah.
For strange reasons, I do not try Izoki. But, yeah.
Yeah. Rats don't swim too well, so. All right. So what you, as you're sort of going through these languages at them, how close do you get, Basil, to the halfway point?
I think I would be, I don't know, I think this must be 15 meters or 20 meters or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
for the entire ship, you mean?
Yeah. So they are 10 meters away or something when we start. So, something like that.
So you
Do
get
you want us
to...
to tie a rope to you, Basil? I call out and chuckle. You know, a little levity for the for the tense moment.
Basil looks back at where Dr. Ursprung and Golag are at the back of the ship. You turn back, and the once you get to about like if there's the halfway point, and if they are about a quarter of the way back from that to the front of the ship and filling up that ring, you've moved yourself a quarter of the way forward, and as you get a little closer, the one that you seem to think that is in charge, it stalks forward as well, closes the distance to about maybe about 7 or between 5 and 7 meters away. You can see its eyes are like have that milky kind of cover to them that sharks do, and it seems to be blinking that second lid as it's looking at you and studying you.
I wanted to just, from when they've got on, the time they've got on, my understanding is we've still got some of the bodies of these sailors on board.
Yeah, because you guys haven't disposed of them.
Yeah, plus I wanted to have a look at them, do a bit more studying of the dark. Do they look at those, or the Dark Riders that are still sort of squished and stuff around the deck?
They don't seem to have... They're stepping over them as if they were just debris.
They're not registering them at all. They're
no.
not showing any interest.
And
Okay.
notably, you don't see any kind of parasite or, any similar attachments that you saw among the Dark Tide Riders, among these creatures.
Okay.
So the one gets to within maybe 5 meters of you, Basil, and it's looking at you, and with its one clawed hand, it's pointing at you.
Yeah. If I just, I think this, I don't know if this even has something to do with it, but I'm just grabbing for the straws we have. So I think that's where my amulet is. At least I would expect it to be that place. So I would just lift it a little bit and present it. So
as you do, it kind of like is waiting and to see what you do, and then as you hand it out, it points that clawed finger at you again, and the claw slowly turns over, holding an open palm towards you.
Guys, what do you mean? Should I hand it over?
I would think so. I would think so. I would think that.
Okay, so I will lift it over my head slowly, and then just make 2 steps forward and just put it on the ground, and go 2 steps back.
Okay. Again, its eyes are kind of trying to judge you. It turns its head and then looks back. You would think as if to communicate with its comrades, but you hear nothing. It stalks forward. As it does so, it begins moving itself up higher, as if like trying to make itself more impressive. It's quite impressive. At its full height, it's probably about 7 feet tall. Makes its way over. There is a briny smell to this thing as well. It walks over, its eyes locked on you. Its hand cups the amulet, brings it up, looks at it, looks at you, tears the cord that was on it off, and then affixes it back to sort of the accoutrements that are around its neck. And as it does so, it turns, studies you for a moment, and then turns quite suddenly back to the others, raises up this strange, almost like scepter type thing, encrusted with mollusks and other kind of sea life, and holds it up as if to triumph. And all the others are... all you really hear, though, is kind of a... from them. There isn't the triumphant cheer that you would expect, but they certainly are acting as if they are.
Basil, give them a business card.
This thing then turns back and looks down at you. And you can hear in your mind, Basil, in a strange... you can clearly understand what is being said, but it's clearly not a language with which this creature is familiar. Almost as if something is doing the translating for it.
You have returned what was taken. Who are you? And what do you ask for this boon?
I think we are the enemy of these creatures, and I would point at the Dark Tide Riders.
We see. You slew them.
They tried to infest our cities.
They are a plague upon the seas.
Our mission was to get...
Maybe maybe suggest we ask that we be allies.
And I think, Basil, you might try thinking, like, initially thinking, like, okay, I'll respond by thinking, and then realize, like, oh, I'm not telepathic. So you can, Golag and Adam, you can hear, or Dr. Earthsprung, you can hear Basil answering out loud to one side of a conversation.
Okay, it's one side, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so I probably didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, you can hear what Basil is saying, so you can certainly infer whatever you want from whatever Basil's answers are.
Yeah, I would just say and think while I'm saying it, I hope that this is how this works. I'm not sure. So I would just say that our mission was to get rid of those. We think we call them dark tide riders, and to rescue the city from those who were allied with them. The human settlement or something.
We
like
know that name.
Yeah.
These riders. They have taken both our land and yours.
You probably wouldn't say land.
Domain.
Yeah, so we managed to kill their eggs, but unfortunately we had to poison the water for it, and we have to get back to get some remedy for the poison before it infiltrates other parts of the sea.
What do you mean?
In order to kill the eggs of the Dark Tide Riders, we put poison in the water, and now we have to put some anti-poison in the water. To stop.
You are able to both make the water kill and not kill.
Yes.
He turns, and it seems as if something has been communicated to the others, and they're all sort of looking at one another. And he looks back at you.
You have such magics.
Yes, we have to go to the land to fetch the, we call it the antidote.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because we are not interested in killing other creatures from the sea than those Dark Tide Riders.
His eyes kind of flick as if processing that. Turns back once again, and then looks back to you.
What is your name?
Basil.
Is Basil your kind or your name?
It's my name, and my kind is called Izoki.
I am Fuelatoa. I am Shawagan.
Again, I know we all went to high school with the Fuelatoa, but in the event you have a different
High school
spelling.
band.
Yeah.
High school band.
That is his name.
Fuanatua, yeah, okay.
Your companions. They are helping you find this antidote.
Yes.
That is where you sail.
So, yeah, we need to go back to the village, but we have to sneak in. Because right now there are some who are still under the influence of the Dark Tide Riders, and they will fight us.
And you have not seen their nest.
The nest under the water we saw.
That is the creche. Taken from our kind.
Ah, I see. Yeah. Yeah, you can get that back. I mean, you just need to put the antidote in there.
And then the waters will not burn.
No.
The nest is far from the waters.
You know where it is?
We do.
So if you tell us, we can burn the nest on the land as well.
When you burn the nest,
Would you give us another perception check, Basil? Okay.
28 or 29.
That's great. Yeah.
depends on-
So, and everyone gets a hero point, by the way. You can tell Fulatoa seems, because of the intimacy of the telepathic connection, it's easier to understand nuance than it is to read it in the tone of voice. He seemed worried about you assaulting the nest.
So is this nest only for the Dark Tide Riders, or are there other creatures as well?
He judges you, stands over you for a moment or so. Give us a diplomacy check, please. My brain was doing the wheel thing of is it diplomacy, persuasion, diplomacy, persuasion, diplomacy.
Right.
Nat
right.
20, baby. Tell me again what your question was.
If there were any other creatures in the nest, or if it's only for the Dark Tide Riders.
And after looming over you for a moment, you can hear a very sorrow-heavy answer.
they took our spawn.
I feared. So how can we distinguish which is your and which is their spawn? Are we able to tell?
He looks at you and looks down, and he grabs one of the remains of the Dark Tide Riders that you guys had pulled up, and he holds it up.
And he says, "This is them."
I thought maybe your spawn was also eggs. I'm sorry.
Their eggs, if they live still, they have spawned.
Ah, I see. Okay. Then we will do our very best to keep your spawn alive and only get rid of the Dark Tide Riders.
He stares at you again and kind of...
Why? Why would you do this?
And again, there isn't an accusatory. He's genuinely perplexed in a telepathic connection.
From what I heard, there is danger beyond even those grave dangers from the Dark Tide Riders arising in the ocean. And I think we will need all our combined force to battle it at some point.
He looks at you, and you've never met a sea devil before, so it's really, and they're very different creatures, especially being telepathic. You don't need facial expressions to communicate as much, but you would guess that there is a like a stunned look on his face. And in a kind of fearful whisper, he says,
Have your oracle spoken of it too?
Yes.
I feared there was a greater meaning to the boldness of their plan. Their kind have, it is said, been parasites in past. This bold action, seizing water and land, is unlike their kind. But it is true. The vendetta beast comes. Then
So, yeah.
hold.
and he turns, and it's almost like witnessing a muted argument. There's a bunch of back and forth, clearly, from the gesticulations and the movement among the crowd. He seems to be filling in his party with what is happening or what they're proposing. Goleg, Dr. Earthsprung, and Basil, what are you guys doing? There's about a 5-minute pause where he needs to do that.
Yeah, I think I fill the others in, and just say that they also know about this vendetta beast, and they also know about the 7 things of the sea, whatever they were called.
7 Sages of Sorrow.
Seven Sages of Sorrow. Yeah. So I think we should really try not to alienate them, but to help them, and hope that they in turn will help us, because we will not be able to fight underwater like they can.
Yes, I was thinking that since you have related that they asked what we wish in return for the amulet, like what could we possibly ask for that was it seems quite valuable to them. So what of value could we say makes sense here, and maybe just ask for a solid formal alliance, and which could pay great dividends in the future of unknown quantity and quality.
Yeah.
And then give them a business card.
I genuinely thought that was going to go in the direction of, like, they must have treasure underwater. Ask them if they have treasure. So that was a nice little turn.
Give them a price list, Basil. A price list.
I think you need to get those business cards laminated.
Yeah.
Get some waterproof ones.
Good point, Dr. Earthsprung. Good point, Doctor. But anyway,
yeah,
the alliance, eh? Oh, what's that, Doctor?
I was just going to say, maybe they could give us some information about how the Dagon Sea is getting so many fish. What has happened? What agreement? What? Who's helping them? Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can try to ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that maybe with some closer examination of these dark tide riders, maybe I can try and adapt the poison. So only, I don't know if that's even possible, but it sort of affects them more than it would the Sea Devils. You know, attacks their sort of system more than the Sea Devils. I don't know if that's possible.
If I understand correctly what's going on and all the foreshadowing that has been part of this campaign, I think that this is a little bit maybe thinking too little. I think there will be bigger beasts heading our way.
Like the Vendetta?
Yeah, like that Vendetta beast, for instance.
Hey guys, you know what also happened this month? The new Godzilla film came out, and Monarch comes out featuring Godzilla.
Remind me what we know about the Vendetta, I say to he's a
Not a
little.
lot.
It's good doctor. Not much, right?
That may
No.
have to wait for another time because he.
He turns around.
Yeah. Fualatoa turns back to Basil, and he hears in his mind.
What do you propose, Basil?
I propose that we will join forces and be allies for the time coming. We don't know where this Vendetta Beast and the Seven Sages of Sorrow will attack, but there will come an attack. We are sure of that.
The largest den on the land.
Yes.
That is where the rider's nest is.
Oh. Okay, thank you. One final question, maybe. Do you know how they control the fish?
They stole it from me.
Ah, I see.
The amulet.
Yeah.
It is a great gift from the deep.
And the way he speaks about it telepathically, Basil, you think that's a proper noun?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
see.
He
Yes.
stole it and used it to fatten them and impoverish us.
Yeah.
We could take no steps while our spawn was held.
I see. We will go and try to rescue your spawn and get rid of the Dark Tide Riders.
From your look, Basil, and your pack, your kind are not hunters.
We are small and many, and we yeah. You said the Dark Tide Riders were parasites, but they are still dangerous in great masses. And my people, we are dangerous because we are many, and we are we can fight if necessary.
You also, again, like the inflection or the intent of stuff is a lot clearer telepathically. He didn't mean that as an insult.
Oh yeah,
He meant it as an observation of like, look at you people, like you're soft, you have fur, you have to wear things on your hide. Like compared to us, we get in there and fucking tear it up.
Yeah.
But what he says,
He clearly did not see Golag cut that dragon down. He arrived too late.
Yeah. But I think we have tools to use in the fight.
Of that, I have no doubt. Your ingenuity. Without sorcery, you make the waters burn and return them to their placid state. We are hunters. Are you familiar with distractions?
Yes. Very much.
These fattened land things place great value on their boats to steal our bounty. It would prove a mighty distraction if we were to destroy them all.
Yes. Would be a great help.
He turns and says something, and once again you can see the yeah, all of them are shaking their weapons around and doing that odd silent thing where they're just kind of He looks back to you.
Then how will you hunt?
And the way he kind of hunches down, you get the feeling that he's waiting, like he's ready to plan now.
Yeah. I think I would just consult with the others, and then I will just in a few sentences tell that he's ready to take out the boats from the fishermen, which will rob the fishermen of their boats. That is true, but it will give us an opportunity to get rid of the nest, because having no boats is certainly a thing that is not great for the village, but having no control over their own actions is probably even worse. So
where was the nest? I didn't quite.
in the largest building on the.
He said largest den.
Yeah.
Largest den in the town.
Yeah.
So that's the cannery, no?
If not the church. Oh, probably cannery?
The church is definitely not the biggest structure. It's not even as large as what the bishop's cottage is.
Okay.
The cannery is certainly the largest structure in there. But the largest house, you have not seen it yet, but what was the most prominent family in the house? Or in the town?
Cannery guy? Cannery man, right? Have to look up his name.
Wayman Horgan.
Yeah.
Wayman.
Horgan House.
We have been to the Horgan estate only to the cannery. Yeah.
Only to the cannery. You've not seen Horgan
Maybe
House.
You could possibly ask him maybe one more.
Yes.
Ask him for a slight bit of clarification, since if he knows where it is, just to make sure we don't bark up the wrong tree there.
If he describes to you, so if you guys ask about the cannery, he's dismissive, like, no, not that. Outside of the, he describe it outside of the clutch, maybe.
Yeah. I think we can just agree that we will find a way to if we know that is the Horgan house, so I think we can.
You guys do have a great source of gossip about the town as well, in the form of Farmer Clemens.
Yeah.
You would have to return to him, I suppose, in order to get that. But then,
and maybe a small bit of clarification, Basil. Just that he means all the boats here in town, not all the boats up and down the coast, right? All the boats of the entire coast would be.
Yes,
unfortunate.
he means here.
Okay.
He talks about the fattened creatures on the land, which I think mean the Dark Tide Riders and the humans they possess.
All right.
So, yeah. I mean, otherwise, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to rescue the world, and maybe some.
If we were the cause of destruction of all boats in the land, I would just feel poorly about it. That's all I was saying. But no, I think you're probably.
Yeah, and honestly, I would even say this is maybe some kind of justice in a way, because I mean, what happened here was, so if I understand correctly, the humans had some kind of pact or non-fighting agreement with the Dragon before, when this thing was destroyed. So, I mean, obviously, those agreements were broken. So,
yeah, and they not for nothing. Like, you remember the way that the markings, or the, what do you call it, the stained glass at the church and the carvings on the outside, it showed a bunch of crusaders of the Church of Heavenly Host arriving and casting that castle into the sea that seemed to have all these creatures in it.
So I think that's yeah.
One thing is, as you're talking if you talk about like this particular thing being an apocalyptic thing, he'll clarify that while he thinks that the Dark Tide Riders, whatever they're doing right now, fits into this, this is not the impetus behind the arrival of this is them caught up in the wake of something much bigger that is coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my impression as well.
Yeah, because if it was a matter of like letting them get away with this, and at the end of the world, they still would likely not have stood by, even though their spawn was in danger.
Yeah.
But so
yeah.
What's the plan then?
I think we should really try to somehow maybe do the impossible feat and save one part of the nest and then burn down the other, if that is somehow possible. And yeah.
I do. There still could be value too to using our one wish, if you will, to a formal alliance that could pay dividends even past this one common threat. I mean, and the common threat could be ongoing, but
I think Basil himself would not believe in such kind as a formal alliance between those partners, because this is not a business agreement. But nevertheless, if pressed by Golak, he would just do it. Because so you see, Basil is more like chaotic good. So this is not. This is a piece of paper that means nothing, or a formal agreement that means nothing in contrast to stopping the world to end. But yeah, I think if Golak believes that is important.
You know what I call Basil?
Yeah.
Job security.
Review. As Golak says, Basil, tell him. We want a formal alliance.
I will. Yeah.
So let's, we're already at the halfway point. Why don't we take our mid-session break right now, then we'll come back and hear what the plan is for assaulting Horgan House and burning out the nest. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay. Hey, THX, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. All right. Let's see. So what is Dr. Ersprung thinking as far as plans for assaulting Horgan House is concerned? You know, while we're talking about it, let me get some stuff set up too.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it's going to involve water or not. I don't know.
Horgan House is set inland and a ways back
that's what I was thinking.
From the town itself.
There weren't any sort of river that runs by, anything that we're aware of?
No.
Okay.
It's the kind of like, nouveau riche built home. Like they built off the recent riches, refurbishing an older mansion.
Okay.
At least so you've heard.
And Basil had confirmed that it's eggs. I know, but they'd already hatched, didn't they?
He says by now they should have hatched.
Yeah. But do you think they'd be able to survive out of the water? For a long time.
You're good enough with medicine and have had a aquatic patient for quite a number of years now. I think you could probably judge, like, if it's like Sally's physiology, then perhaps they just need to be back in water every now and then.
Right.
Right, but
Okay.
Okay. So it could be, although these things do seem less capable of being out of water than what Sally was. I mean, you're not able to do a full inspection, but, you know, it seems like they are more more accustomed to spending all or most of their time in the water than Sally, who seems to be able to function quite well on either.
Yep.
Is it possible to get some kind of, I don't know, this spawn, is it big enough to be dangerous for us? Could it attack us, or is it just small fish right now, or small lizards?
At this stage, they're likely your size. Like, he gestures at you.
Yeah.
So very small, quite small, he says. Very weak and brittle, tiny, minuscule.
Yes.
Almost childlike in its size. Shocking, it can stand on its own.
Yeah, I totally understand, but maybe is it possible for us to talk to them, or to give some indication that we are not their enemies?
They were, what Fualatoa would tell you is that they were taken so young that they would have a remember that nat 20 you rolled on diplomacy?
Yes.
So as you're talking through this, he's realizing, like, well, fuck, like, yeah, they're not going to understand. They could only communicate telepathically, and then he takes the amulet off and says, when you go, you will take this, and I will show you how you can speak to them.
Okay. So, yeah. This is I don't know, the importance of this gesture is I see that. Let me put it this way.
The way he puts it, I think, is because they have a very different way of assessing things, and they value obviously different things. You are driving something from their domain and you're returning the thing that prevented them from acting against these. So setting aside whatever grander schemes that the oracles may have spoken of, he, from his perspective, he feels that if you are successful in this, in driving them from their creche, in returning the waters back to normal, in recovering their spawn, they will never be able to forget to thank you enough for that.
Yeah. So let's hope they never have the idea that maybe we're the ones who were also responsible. But
of note, it might be beneficial that Basil is not an overly religious Yasaki, because you have no markings of the Church of the Heavenly Host on display, as far as I can remember.
No. For sure not.
So, what do you guys wish to do? Fuulato is all ears.
Yeah. We would I think we would sail somehow, somewhere, I don't know, maybe back to, so if they attack the boats, we would try to land on shore, make it to the farmer, and then go to the house from there. I think.
So there's two ways you can get in. To get from the boat to the shore, remember there wasn't a harbor, you had to row yourself out, and you still have that boat with you while the watchdog destroyed Dr. Ursprung's thing, so you could easily sail back there, row ashore, and then go in. The other option is, remember there's that beach near the resort, the spa, I should say, the Scopia Holiday Lodge.
Yeah, but this is very close to the area we were shot at.
Yes, that's true. You'd be passing by the cove there. Yeah.
No, we don't want to.
Wait, are you guys
that.
saying you don't want to get shot again? Okay, hold on. Let me. We'll weigh that in your options. You certainly would have enough time for Dr. Ursprung to apply whatever other sort of administrations. So you guys can assume you're all going to heal and you're going to get all your focus points back, Mr. Golak.
Yeah, I think we should do that. We should go. As I say, sometimes it's good time for the offensive. Now we should go for the offense.
How would you like to coordinate this? He says that his mind speech will not extend larger than really he can see. Yeah,
I think what we should do is they must have some way to measure time, and we could say when the boat, I don't know,
dawn, dusk, those are all things they can see underwater as well.
Yes.
We've got the fog timing as well, haven't we? When it rises and falls, or when it appears.
Yeah, so something like this, we maybe need 10 hours or so to get there, and if they start the attack by then we will have our way.
Should we say something like, just after the fog comes in for the evening, so it's under nightfall and the fog for cover?
Something, yeah.
So the next evening?
Yeah.
Okay. So what Fuulatoa says then is, where will you hide?
In the farming land. On the land, we have some kind of den where we can hide.
Very well. And he looks at you. Those on the land will not take the destruction of their boats without disagreement.
Yes.
My kind are not gentle.
I think that is very clear.
He says, So we understand then. You are a hunter. He turns and says something, or seemingly communicates something back to the rest of them, and they're all chanting and kind of hooting and hollering telepathically again. And then he turns back to you. Is there anything else you wish to communicate to Fulatoa before that happens? He has the ability, like, if you want him to, make the skies burn or something like that, some kind of signal, he can do that.
Oh yeah, if you can get some certain signal that we know when to start, that would be great. Yeah.
Yes, he can do so. Then, anything else you wish to discuss with them?
No.
Then, he wishes you luck.
Yeah.
He offers thanks once again.
I was going to say, the only other thing is, where do we meet them afterwards with their spawn? If we manage to rescue them.
The sea.
I think we just put them in the water, in the open sea.
Just let them go and we'll just meet up. Or they'll come to us, sort of thing. Yeah, okay.
So, then...
well, we have a formal alliance now, so it should be fine.
yeah, we have Goleg. Yeah, everything is fine.
As he's telepathically communicating with Basil, Goleg's coming out, like with a stack. Could you just initial here, and then right here, twice in here, and then...
My people will be in touch.
I made a small change here, if you could initial that as well.
Yes.
So, what... with the last of it, he wishes you a happy hunt.
Yes.
And then each of them just drops into the water. Like, it looks as if they're just flopping over, but then they enter the water silently. And all 12 of them are now gone. And almost immediately afterwards, the sharks all seem to go deeper into the water, leaving all of you here.
I think we can get the anchor back on board and then...
Yep. And you find there is no resistance to the rudder once again, Goleg. By the time all the talking and planning and whatnot is done, I imagine that it's not dawn as of yet, but it's getting to that kind of pre-dawn. So if you wish to get yourself there, the gray of the coming sun is already starting to burn away some of this fog. I think you would have accounted for that in your discussions, in your planning. So if you guys wanted to start heading back beforehand, you would have been able to do that. But I think even leaving now, you'll have plenty of time to get to the far side of the village and then make your way ashore. As long as Goleg makes a successful crafting check. I have full confidence.
Indeed.
Or lore, if you have a sailing lore, that would definitely apply as well. I don't think that's what... No.
My crafting's decent, though. How big we need?
I'll remind you that an average roll for this level, I believe, is a 22.
All right.
No pressure, but... 22 is the average. Look at that.
Oh. There you go.
So you actually, now that you've got the feel for this thing, you've got it... It's able to respond to you quite well. It's still like well before the sun is even beginning to crest by the time you reach there.
More sea commands than ever. Pull in that jib. We're flapping too much.
Yeah. While you guys are traveling, did I grant a hero point when you guys got back? I see Dr. Earthsprung is down 1. Goleg is down 1. Oh, you're down 1 now though, so you wouldn't get 1. But Dr. Earthsprung, you'd be topped up at 3.
Okay.
So as you guys are traveling, you'll have another probably 45 minutes of talk as you're traveling down the coast. Any final plans or thoughts as to how you wish to approach Horgan House? You have the distraction is well and truly coordinated now.
Yeah. I think Basil would not like to think about what will happen to the people on the boats. If
the legends that Sally told you are true, they certainly will not they will not be squeamish about consuming the flesh of land dwellers.
Yeah, I mean the moniker of Sea Devil will be true, I suppose. So yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, if it's between having their mind enslaved or having the choice of rebuilding their village, I think there is only that choice we can make. I mean, that's.
Are you saying we have to break a few eggs, Basil?
Yeah, that was exactly my yeah. I think it will be a little bit more than just a few eggs, I suppose, but yeah.
Is there any way we can send a message, and if they ignore it, they ignore it? Sort of, some sort of.
I don't
warning.
think, I don't even think that we can honestly make clear to them that there is a point where there was enough distraction and they can go back if they are in hunting mode. They will just follow the hunt because.
Yeah, it's only because the doctor's a healer, not a fighter, primarily.
No,
so always try to.
Yeah. He's called the Doctor, I remember. Yeah.
I think this type of situation is referred to as triage.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, basically, your patients are already dead if they are taken over by the parasite. So.
Yeah, I mean.
Technically, I mean, they are beyond healing.
I mean, a lot of them are not under the influence of the parasite, so at this stage, are they?
Yet, yeah.
They're not attached to them, no. But do you think it's fair to say that they're free of the influence of them, though?
Well, definitely under the influence of the preacher or the father. What sort of sway somehow got over them, and this curse or whatever ritual, and there's something that's controlling them, definitely. But it's just whether they'll be able to break out of that or not in the future.
I think we can.
But
it will always be bloody and messy, and there will be no. Adam, you remember how it was with the children and basically when we, I think it's actually when we met this case, or maybe we did meet before, but yeah.
Oh, the vampiric kids.
Yeah, yes, and it's a little bit like this, yeah.
Yeah, it's just he thinks about it more than probably others would, so it troubles him a bit, and he,
Yeah, I think it troubles Basil as well. So he's very much aware of what he's just agreed to, but he does not see any other way to help that population.
Yeah, I think it's just taking the doctor a little bit longer to come to the same conclusion. I think he's trying to think of any other alternatives, but coming up empty.
You see his mismatched hands just white-knuckled gripping the back of the boat or the edge, trying to work out a problem that just seems to be unable to be. Every solution seems to be a suboptimal one.
Especially in the time that we've got, yeah.
What about Golag? How does he feel about this plan?
I think he's pretty pragmatic. I mean, he comes off his father's darker hues. His father's more, whatever. He doesn't think whatever, but he's pragmatic.
We haven't talked about it either, but Golag traveled to the Orcish Darklands in order to gain his abilities, and the way that folks live there is much different from the civilized veneer that covers Paridar. Much closer to the life of those Shawaghan.
Eat or be eaten. So
and for a pampered little prick like Golag, having gone there,
I beg your pardon.
It was that experience would have definitely been an educational one, and one unlike any he had had before.
I think he thinks himself better for it. I mean, he's an orc. So it is what it is.
Yep.
He's got a very is what it is. He's got a big dose of is what it is. And
well, for a one who has bound himself to a being of the dark, that certainly is. I think he understands it. Like, you got to break some omelets to make eggs, or break some eggs and make omelets. So,
yep,
yeah.
And he's neutral good. Interestingly, as far there you go. Pragmatism with. But leaning good. With the lean, but let's not get crazy. You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean,
it's not like silly things like laws. Again, you guys are all just like I would make sure you all have your my business card in your pockets for job security. Fantastic. When you are eventually sued, just please give me a call.
We should have left a card. That's my only regret.
All right. So you find yourself easily, with a roll that good, you're able to get yourself almost precisely back to where you were. Is the intention to weigh anchor with this thing, like offshore, and then just leave it there?
Yes.
The difficulty will be, without the cover of fog, it'll be easy to see this thing moored somewhere off the shore, right? If someone was to come looking.
Mm-hmm.
Do we care about that anymore? Does that matter? I don't think it matters if it's on the boat, does it?
We do need the boat, right, for the antidote. We need the boat.
I think.
Am I wrong?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we can't lose the boat.
Well, we could give them the cans and explain how to, apply the antidote later.
Oh, interesting.
If if the boat is taken or whatever.
I see. Yeah, I mean, now in hindsight, there is bound to be a few things to come up after the meeting.
I just really hope that they will not. Even if the boat is seen, then maybe they will not destroy it or so. Or if they will, then we will find something else. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd want to recover the boat if they've lost all their other boats, I'd have thought.
So this is a bit of an unusual situation for you guys, because this is sort of the reverse, that you are, instead of being something that you are instead of looking for something and trying to find someone who does not want to be found, you're in the reverse position now. And over the next day, want to make sure that you are not found. So perhaps one way of thinking of it is the ways that you would approach trying to hunt you down and find you. Identify those and then try and thwart those avenues to finding you before you can spring your attack.
Yeah, and in hindsight, we could have possibly said, just be, it's inferred, but don't destroy this boat, and in fact, protect it. But we didn't, so we could...
No, I think Kevin is saying something different. If we park our boat on the shore, then they will know that we are on the land. And they will
try and trace our track.
If you're in their position and you're walking along shore and you see that stolen boat moored, even if they didn't see your boat, if they see a stolen boat that is moored offshore, what's the inference you would make from that?
I think let the boat go. Just don't anchor it, or just cut the anchor.
So that the people ashore, you're saying, as a ruse?
Yeah. So we should make. I mean, could you? Sometimes you see that they somehow fix the rudder so that it will go to the open sea or something like that.
You guys could absolutely do something like that, or parallel with the sea for the shore for a time, although eventually it would end up hitting or drifting out to sea. Yeah, with the mechanical expertise that you guys have at your disposal.
Yeah, something like that. Let's get rid of the boat.
Okay, so we definitely don't want a boat for the antidote. Is that what we're...
No, we want a boat for the antidote, but we can only manage to solve one piece of the puzzle at a time.
Maybe we try and hide the rowing boat, because that's fairly small.
Yeah, we will need that, yes. That's
your boat, the rowboat would be indistinguishable from any other small, fishing boat. You would need not worry about that one being identified.
And I think if we are...
you are starting to regret that Golag carved his name on the back of that boat, but that can probably be removed pretty easily.
Yeah. I think so. If everything works according to plan, then we will maybe be able to use the beach from which we were banned to just get a rowing boat and apply the antidote from there. This castle was not miles out in the open sea. It was close to the shore.
Yeah, it's
relatively.
a cove that he was in. Yeah. Yep.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Earthstrom, would you give us a crafting check, please? Let's see how well you can jury rig the
Okay.
the rudder and the controls.
Autopilot.
Well, that's not very good. Let's give that another try, I think. Ooh, not much better.
Okay. So, you've got something functional. Whether it remains in place for the entire time is another question, but it certainly will be able to leave here once you're all set on the boat, on the rowboat. Who would like to give us a stealth check for timing the leaving the boat and getting ashore? Trying to avoid any kind of early morning. You can?
Yeah.
And if anyone wishes to make use of any kind of abilities or spells or whatnot, you certainly can do so to try and get around these skill checks. I don't know who's got the boat invisibility spell, but...
Yeah, we already discussed that one. Anything I would have would be that's too big, and it's not prepared anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So come on, I'm just having a roll.
There we go.
You got this.
Nice.
26.
Okay. So then, with... I got an interesting... it just came to me. This is not to do with this adventure. You know what might be an interesting rule to try out? Is the opportunity to spend 2 hero points to roll with advantage. So like that your reroll, you'll take the better of the 2 rolls. Instead of having... Because 1 point to just re-roll, 2 hero points to roll twice and take the better of the 2. That way you're not risking the, like, well, fuck, I just got myself, worse off than what I was. I'll give it a try in Kingmaker next session and see how that goes. I mean, it's for you guys spending through hero points even faster then, so that all works for me. Got to make that year-end target. All the narrative meta currency must be spent. So you're easily able to get this thing off, and you can see in the very easily dissipating, the very quickly dissipating fog, you can see the ship with that name of it on the back sailing out towards the open ocean. And you're able to get yourself back to shore with Basil's kind of keen, furtive instincts. You are easily able to make your way back to the Clements farm, and you are greeted by the sound only when you're getting to the... how do I get this? There we go. There we are. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to move. Incidentally, you can't wheel scroll when you've opened up the new display for pages, but what you can do is just move it to the top and it'll automatically scroll. For those who also use Roll20. Where I can be, I try to be a cautionary tale if I can't be a role model. So,
Words to live by.
Absolutely. It's a non-sequitur. I use that precise language too. The Law Society and our courts here have set up a auto filing thing, but they're having some back-end problems with it. So the court was like, well, we'd love to file your documents, but the Law Society in their back-end shows you as being part of the firm that you haven't been with for a year now. So we can't file it unless you want to tell us you're with that firm. I'm like, so you're trying to get me to lie on legal filings? I'm going to say no. Let me follow up with the Law Society.
Right.
It turns out it's a problem. They're like, we've had this problem before, but we didn't really think about the consequences, so we're going to get this fixed. And that sounds like a good fucking thing to do. So if I can't be a role model, I'm happy to be a cautionary tale. I think Igor will also, you'll be able to bang and, kludge him back to his full functioning. And you're able to make your way back to the Clements farm. Now, here's what you notice as you're getting up there. There are a couple of the dogs who are quite agitated here. And they are not they're not like guarding the way that they did before. Ingolf, Basil, you are quite confident that the way that you're approaching, that you know how to sneak up on these pups. And they've also met you, and they seem to be kosher with you guys before. The dogs are free in the field, not next to the house the way that they were before. As you approach, you can see the door is open.
Yeah, this was my next concern, is the town folk have followed a cart trail or something back to the farm.
There is only the one real road up to there, so certainly Golag, if you wish, you could give us a survival check. You're the one who is the tracker. Yeah. There's at least a small group of 8 to 10 people who have come walking up here who are not you guys and are not Farmer Clemens.
Let's have a look. He may be inside and needs assistance.
How do you want to approach this then?
Do the dogs? So the dogs don't bark.
They're still barking, but they're in the field.
They still bark.
Yeah, they're in the field. Not next to the house the way that they were before.
So I feel like we won't be, complete surprise isn't possibly available due to that. So let's spread out though, just in case. I'm willing to take the door.
Is anyone trained in nature?
Negative.
No.
Yes.
So Basil, you, I know that you're more conversant in speaking to rodents, but if you got nature, you could try and calm the dogs down too.
Yeah, I would try. 20. I don't know.
You want to hero point that?
Yeah, I have so many of them.
Got to make room for more.
Yeah, and but I like that it can get worth actually.
Yeah, well, no, and it's a risk-reward thing, right? So if because spending 2 hero points when you're only getting 1 every half hour, those, it's rare that we have sessions where people have an abundance of hero points left, so just an easier way to blow through them. But anyway...
Is this the game too that you need 1 to survive? Is 1 used to
1 to
save your
auto
life?
stabilize, not to necessarily you're not going to die. You'll just go through the regular process of dying. But yeah, you can auto stabilize by spending. I think it's all your remaining hero points.
There you go. All your remaining. That's right. That's right. So if you go to 0, it is a big deal. It could be a big deal.
Yeah. So here's what happens: is Basil, you try and calm them, and what ends up happening is. 2 of them are barking even louder, and one of them comes charging right for you. But you can tell it's not attacking; it just comes over and knocks you over and is barking at you as if trying to, and then moving to the door a little bit and then moving back.
Yeah, I see.
It's the dogs are just extremely agitated.
Yeah.
Can you hear them?
Let's get in there very quick. Yeah, I see.
I need to write agitated
Well
dogs
done.
into more sessions.
Well done, sir.
Oh,
I draw my pistol.
Okay, pistols out.
Yeah, weapons out.
Okay.
I think I would just stand up first.
Okay, you stand up, and this dog keeps jostling you. It's very...
Yes. I'm going.
Okay. So it eventually settles down enough to not, keep buffeting you as you're going in. But what do you guys wish to do?
I suggest I go the door and you 2 a window, just not to be standing in.
I'll try the back door.
Doesn't say this, but fireball formation.
Is there a back door?
There is. The back door was what led off to the barn/workshop.
I'll try the back door.
I think I will do as Golag tells, because, yeah.
Okay. So Basil is watching the dogs.
No. So Golag said that I should go for the window.
Oh, the window. Forgive me. Okay. Yeah. All right. So in each time, what I'll tell you is, Golag, as you make your way up towards the front door, your pistol drawn, you're you cannot hear anything in there apart from the barking of the dogs in the field. You can hear the creak of the old boards under your feet as you step up onto the porch, and you can see that there is evidence that the door was broken down as opposed to opened and then someone else came in. Yeah. Would you give us a perception check too, please? This one's going to be a little tricky, so that's not a good roll. You want to hear a point that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Perception.
Come on, big money. Let's see that green. Nice! So as you go up, as you get near the entrance to the door, there is the smell of gunpowder. Someone's been discharging firearms. At the side, Basil, you get over there, and the unfortunate thing is these windows are filthy because while he may be a bit of a gadget head as far as Paridar is concerned, Farmer Clemens has yet to invest in the steampunk equivalent of a Roomba.
Yeah.
So but you're able to push the window open. It isn't secured either. In the countryside of Paridar, you leave both your doors and your windows unlocked. So you're able to creak it open, and I think you have a view on his bedroom, and there is no sign of him in there either. The bed is empty. And Dr. Ursprung, when you make your way around back, what you can see is that the door to the workshop / barn was not really secured in the sense of like having a chain on it or whatnot, but he kept it closed. Like he didn't want the elements getting into there, and that door has been thrown open as well. If you spare a look in there, your newly implanted eyes allow you to see in the dark, and you can see someone has trashed that place. And not in the like looking for something kind of way, in the like we're gonna make you pay kind of way. So
I will let's see. I don't think this is line of sight. I don't think I've used it before.
Target.
Is it line of sight, you think?
It might be good, like unless it expressly says most often the targets have to be line of sight, but let me just double check. That'll be worth knowing.
My intent would be to communicate with us, even though we're not together, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even prepare this usually, so I haven't used it before.
Nice. Is it level 1 or is it it's a cantrip?
It's cantrip.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's nice.
Okay. So the range is 120.
Should be heightened, I think, 3rd level, because it automatically cantrips auto.
Oh, so 500 feet.
Yep.
Okay.
Does say they must be able to see you to reply.
Oh.
So I don't know if that means you don't need it, but we do.
Yeah, let's just
see
here. Okay, here we go.
See you. Interesting.
Some spells allow you to directly target a creature. Blah, 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 blah. The target must be within the spell's range, and you must be able to see it, or otherwise perceive it with a precise sense.
So probably, huh?
Yeah, so you would need to see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know where the others are, though? So...
I may look for, like, let's see, so the good doctor said he was going to...
Around back? Yeah, and you could see from looking in, he'd be out the other side, like, you could see him out the back window, perhaps?
Okay, I'll wait for that. I'll be peeking, and if I, once I see him, I will say into his mind, or into his ear, I guess it is. I smell gunpowder.
You look back over,
and I think even though Sean hasn't used it, I don't know. Golag's had this for quite some time, so it's possible you're aware that I think you can respond. I mean, you can look around for
definitely.
me.
Yeah,
you can look. You would know. Is my point, Doctor? You would know.
And
probably.
I would want to reply.
Mm-hmm.
I would think he's probably intelligent enough to know how long that smell would stay in the air. Would he?
You
Sort of
would, yeah.
gunpowder?
Yeah, I mean, if it in a closed, like outside, definitely would have been blown off.
Yeah.
Inside, I mean, 6 to 12 hours, I think that stink could still hang around. It's a very distinctive smell, and like,
Cordite.
Yeah, and like, and if it gets into stuff, like if it, then, it just has a very distinctive odor that if you've got a keen enough nose. Golai did roll really well too, not a critical success, but he certainly rolled really well to be able to pick it up. So,
Be
that's
cautious.
6 to 12
be
hours.
cautious. But I think they've probably already left by the looks of things. And I'll carry on.
Okay.
Heading in.
And Golag, to carry forward your 28 with perception, you cannot hear the sound of anything else moving in here apart from the kind of creak at the back door as Dr.
Okay.
Ersprung approaches.
Okay.
Basil, you could easily fit through this window if you choose to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I would understand Golak that I should go in, so it's no problem. I would just sneak in.
So you scamper in. No sign of him. The door here to the bedroom is slightly ajar. No sign of anyone, though. And from being in here before, this will lead out to kind of a room where there's like this is not the kind of house that would have a lavatory inside. But there would be like the larder and whatnot across, and then the corridor would lead down to the main area where both Golag and Dr. Ersprung will be entering.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I will just go then and carefully open the door and look if anyone is there.
No one out there, but let's why don't you give us a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
See if you can pick up anything further.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, this will be. I mean, this is obviously a crime scene.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you step out, you kind of blink and you can see on the walls there is some spatter from blood, and then there is a pool or blood on the ground that looks like it has been partially smeared or cleaned up, but not in a way that makes you think that someone tried to clean it up. More so that whoever was bleeding may have been dragged or, dragged across where the blood was and left. You're no medical expert, but there's not enough blood here to suggest that someone definitely died here.
Yeah. I think he has been roughed up and brought away or taken away. He has blood stains on the floor. I would just call the others. I think that there is no one here, I'm convinced.
I'll proceed in and start canvassing the
So you guys can picture you're all slowly going in. You all meet up in that kind of main room. The table has been knocked over. His jug of that homemade hooch has broken on the ground, and there is the stink of that as well. You can see there's a piece of paper on the ground. You may remember he's a bit of a tinkerer himself, and it looks like he was drawing a rough kind of, if not cartoon, some kind of illustration, Punch and Judy style, or not Punch Judy, the Punch magazine style of Igor.
Huh.
There are no lights on in here. The hearth has gone cold. And this has... You've seen these before. This is this scene of violence.
Yeah.
And when you all make your way, Basil in particular, you can smell like Golag is absolutely right. There's this stink of a discharged firearm in here.
Yeah.
Looking where Basil has indicated with the blood, I say, is it possible? Can you tell how much blood? You think he still lives?
Yes, I guess. If Golak mentions the gunpowder, I could just look for where the bullet went. I suppose that it's in the ceiling, because I think that no one really shot at the Clemens, at the farmer, because I think they only wanted to rough him up and take him away.
Probably
not
his
kill him.
shotgun, though, wasn't it? He was probably trying to defend himself.
Then I think we would see that if one fired a shotgun within a house, you couldn't overlook that.
If you
That's
look
what I was
back,
going to say. If we have a look,
yeah, if you look back at now that you're inside the entrance to the door around the frame, there's definitely evidence of a blunderbuss or a shotgun being discharged.
Oh, that was maybe a great mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you would guess the spattering on the side, it's likely a grazing hit from a firearm of some kind. I say firearm, a gun.
Yeah.
These are not
So
exactly.
our only hope is that they've taken him to this house, this nest, maybe. If that's
I think as bad
headquarters.
as this might seem, but I think we can't go there before the evening. That would be just suicide.
It seems less likely that they would take a body with them than it would a living person, does it not? If they slayed him,
Yeah,
would they leave the corpse here?
yeah, I think he's still alive, but I mean, being dead is maybe not the worst fate he could suffer. Let me
Basil,
put it
getting
this way.
darker as we go. I kind of like it.
They'll be questioning him, no doubt, about our intentions.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
I can only hope, like I say, that he's at the house and we'll be able to rescue him at the same time.
If this house is their basis, very sure, yeah.
Fortunately, they only know, I think, of what we've already done. They don't know the next phase. Obviously, he did not know the next phase. He knew the phase that we just completed, in essence.
Yep.
So, all right. So nothing changes, really, except that when we go to the house, we know to keep our eyes open for him.
Yeah, and if we don't find him, that he's still somewhere. But
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
And maybe we keep an eye open for his, signs of his demise, so we know not to, just in case, a bloody room or something.
Yeah, I think we'll do a bit of a better search of the house while we're here and the barn,
Yeah.
in case they have covered him up or
Right. Right.
hidden him
Buried
somewhere,
him.
sort of.
Yeah, I also think that we really need to rest before we go there. I
No
can
question,
tell
says the
from
magic
own
user. No
experience
question.
that it is.
Magic user says absolutely.
So one of the downsides, well, I guess first off, if you do a search of the room, it seems as if you are not the first to do a thorough search of this area. Someone much clumsier and much less skilled than you has just tried to look everywhere here, around each of the structures here. They even seem to have either the well that's on the property. They've even seemed to looked around and down there to see if you were hiding. They seem to... The extensive nature of the search suggests that, for one, they did not know that you were not here, and two, that they really seem to be thinking that something was to be found here.
They're looking for the amulet, I would guess. Would be my...
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're going to lose the fish, aren't they? They're going to...
Right.
Their great fishery business is going to start to dwindle and go back to normal. If
That would be
they
big
haven't
for
got
them.
it. If they're using that as their control. That would be my idea.
So, one thing to consider is that while, the well-known crank in the town may be a likely suspect for in this stuff, the only evidence that you guys have that would point back to him directly would have been that apparatus. And that apparatus, after it was broken off, would have sunken to the bottom of that poison-filled cove. So they may have recovered that somehow, and then could have used that to connect solidly you and them. But do you think it's possible that they don't even know that there's a solid connection between you?
I mean, what is interesting is that they left the figure on the paper, so they did not see that as a connection. Otherwise, they would have taken it. So I think that they will just go to blame someone, and he's the only opposition they could just find.
And how well do you think Father Clemens would, or Farmer Clemens would,
Yes, drawing of Iger, yeah,
hold up to interrogation?
I mean, he's a tough old coot, but you know, one can only. And it's not like we're siblings or something. I mean, he's going to give at some point. I don't think.
I think he'd be stubborn, but
Right.
he hasn't got any loyalty to us. I mean, he
Right.
hates them, but
Right.
wouldn't have thought he'd put his life on the line. But
Yeah.
I mean, he did hate him, but he was quite nutty.
They've got too much time. You know, just a matter of time, really. So I would think he would break, given hours at least.
So that's the question
yeah.
is then.
If you were questioning him, for sure, yeah.
Oh, stop, Basil, stop.
Now that the immediate danger is down, we're right back into flattery. You got it, boss.
Basil, you're pandering. You're pandering. It's showing.
So with that in mind, then, once you guys have come inside, the dogs have come to join you as well, and they're all trying to get Basil to find their master again.
I'll look for food. I'll give
Yeah.
you some.
Oh, sure, yeah.
if it-
Yep.
Yeah.
They thank you. What the question is then, I guess, for you is: do you wish to remain here for the day, or do you wish to go elsewhere? If they either are able to tie the poisoning back to the farm because of the device, or if Farmer Clemens cracks, and they may return here. Otherwise, they probably don't have any other reason to return if they don't know he's connected.
I think we could have Igor stand guard and then sneak out. Or we are out of luck. I mean,
It's
one of
it's
those.
as safe a place as any, innit? At least we've got
Yeah.
walls and something to keep us out of sight, so that if they do come back, we'll have a bit of warning. Hopefully, we'll see them come in and
And the dogs.
make our escape. Yeah. So maybe we'll hold up till tonight.
You also will have access to the full workshop, too. While it's trash, everything's looked over or knocked over and whatnot. I mean, these are pieces of heavy machinery, so like the likelihood of any of them being significantly broken is probably quite low. So I'm not sure if there's anything you wish to try and kludge together in connection with your assault, but you would have the opportunity to, do a crafting montage here, Dr. Earthsprung.
Yeah, if you want to play around at all with the antidote, or
The antidote you can't
this-
work on yet because you haven't recovered the materials from the Scopia Holiday Lodge. You were going to go hit up that.
I think that's just chemicals in a can. Sort of now we've sort of come to that conclusion without the dispenser thing. I don't know if we tried to craft anything. I don't know if it's just going to make it more obvious, and noise and etc. I'm not sure what we would use.
I don't think we need. I
Just
mean,
more of stealth into the house or the building.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to sneak in, then we get discovered, and then we fight our way. That's usually how it works.
I guess the only thing that might, it might be worth looking at is there any chemicals that make some sort of explosives, maybe?
Quite possibly. Let's take a look here.
Fertilizer and all that. I haven't watched MacGyver for quite a long while.
Yeah. There definitely would be stuff to cobble
Even
together.
if it's
Even
if it's just distraction type
Yeah.
noise and stuff.
Give me a sec here. Yeah, okay. Let me check the crafting rules. Oh, you know what? They've got new crafting rules in. treasure vault. I don't know if... What do you call it? The Pathfinder... I keep forgetting the fucking name of it. What is it? And it's not Revisited? Is it Revisited, right? Pathfinder 2 Revisited?
Remastered.
Remastered, right. God dang. I keep wanting to call it something else.
Yeah, I mean, I revisited my book quite a number of times, but...
I've got my gadget specialist as well, so I can make some armor or some explosive mines.
There we go.
If that'll be any use.
What?
The armor plating's always worth having.
What is your level in crafting?
Yes, is it expert E?
Expert. E is expert. Yeah. M is mastery. So let's do this. Critical crafting. All right, this is too fucking confusing for me to bother trying to sort out right now. So let me just kludge something together.
Kludge time.
Kludging the Kludging rules. Works for me. All right. Oops. Earning an income, recalling knowledge, crafting. Here we go. Oh ho. Okay. So here's what your options are. You can craft something at, and this is accounting for how rushed you're going to be doing to cobble something together. I'm going to use Alchemist Fire as the mechanics for your device here. Let's say that you can craft 1d3 level 3 ones, and that will be a crafting check of 22. And because of the unconventional and rush nature, you are going to have to roll for it. It will not be a matter of, using assurance.
You can't use assurance, okay.
Yeah. Or alternatively, you can craft 1d6 level 1. Let's say 2d3 to make it more fair. 2d3, and then that'll be against a difficulty of 18. So DC 22 to make 1d3 level 3 alchemist fires, or DC 18 to make 2d3 level 1 alchemist fires. The difference between the two is like one does 1d8 fire plus 1 persisting and 1 splash. The other one does 2d8 fire, 2 persisting, 2 splash.
Yeah, I'll go for the more difficult one, I think.
Nice.
22,
okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a crafting check here? Look at that! So then, yeah, give us a 1d3. If you'd critical success on it too, I was going to say you made the maximum. So 1d3. Let's see how many you made. Wow. Do you want to hero point that?
Oh, can I? Yeah, I'll
sure, why not?
That if I can hero
I
point
don't technically, but we're already into, Kludge. Look at that. 3. So you have 3 moderate alchemist fires. You should be able to drag those from the compendium, if you like. I'll leave it to you to decide who gets those spent. Mr. Golag is going to want to get a night's sleep to prepare his spells and prepare his... all your focus points should be back, by the way.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on what spells you're going to prepare?
I'll be reloading on my main combat there, the biting words, the aforementioned, before used.
Yep.
Probably have to go with 1 invisibility sphere. That seemed to come up a lot. I mean, I talked about it more with the ship, which it wouldn't have worked anyway. That's too big, but it still came up a lot. So I'm probably going to go with one of those.
Okay.
Biting words twice. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that means I'm going to forego levitate, which is what I'd taken instead of invisibility sphere. So drop that down. Reload mirror image back up to two versions of that, two instances of that. At level, oh wait, yeah, that's right. So that's a total of 3 level 3s right there. Let's see. What else? Blood Vendetta, yeah. That's a tough one. I go between, it's a even at level 7, they do that dastardly. They cap you at 3 on everything, which is brutal. Like, you can be 10th level and still have only three spells at level, whatever. So there's just traffic jams of it's a tough. It's between Blood Vendetta and Animated Assault for a final level 2 there. I need to think about that just for a second. But besides that,
got your first level spells.
Mage Armor's automatic. Level 1s are, and that one that it's always hanging out there is a wild card, but it's got a lot of competition now, is Animate Dead. That's a nice one, but it's tough to fit in. But it's out there, but that could be a level 2. So Blood Vendetta, Animated Assault, or Animate Dead is in competition for that slot. Level 1. I've got Command. That's kind of a decent go-to for level 1. And I could go Sleep. Is that I think I haven't used that in so long. 5-foot burst. So it's pretty small, but it is a group.
Yep.
If we're going to be sneaking around the house, that's a possibility. That sneaking around the their command might be useful, maybe. But Command, I think, is good go-to. Grim Tendrils it's a little interesting because it is a group. It's a straight line attack. So it's a group attack. If you can, at least on 2 is not too bad because you can obviously line up 2 always, as long as you can move. That's kind of what it looks like right this second. I won't hold you any longer, but that's my rundown of.
Okay, Basil, what preparations, if any, are you looking to do?
I don't. I can't. The only thing I can imagine is Basil trying to scheme and where maybe these creatures would be kept. So there must be in the basement or something like that. So trying to make some ideas about where stuff is in the house.
Now you had not a great deal of success trying to negotiate with the rats on the barn before. However, they know as well that if this place becomes abandoned, the flow of food will be gone. So you may see them again. Would you like to try and form an alliance with the rats of the farm?
Yes, and I can do that. Just in order to have
diplomacy again that you use?
Yeah, maybe.
I can't remember what the feat.
I think the feat just says I can speak to them, and I can wait a minute.
I think handle animals normally done with nature.
In diplomacy,
yeah. So you can picture maybe while Golag is getting his spells together, Dr. Ursprung is working on something out in the workshop. Maybe you stepped outside or stepped away from the dogs for a moment, and you can see that one of the rats is sitting bold as brass kind of up on the porch and looking at you. Doesn't seem to be fleeing.
Yeah.
Okay, hold everything. This allows you to talk to beavers as well? Guys, we finally have our Canadian content for Paridar.
Oh, boom.
Fantastic.
Boom.
Hilarious that
yeah.
they would include that in the list because beavers are, I don't even know if they have stats for beavers in the fucking game.
What?
They might. I don't know. I should check here. Dire beavers.
Right.
They must have some Canadian, contract workers, right? I don't see a beaver in here. But yeah, I mean, you will soon, guys.
Right.
Yeah. The beavers were all busy, so they couldn't be in the book.
Exactly. So sorry, Basil. I was too distracted by our national animal.
Yeah. That's okay. So I think the only thing that I could possibly want from these rats, other than my to restore my pride, is maybe just to say that there might be danger for this place, and they should warn us if any humans approach this during the day.
What they kind of squeak back at you and ask is where the feeder is.
They other humans took him away, and they might come back and burn down the farm. So we will need to know in advance to stop them from burning everything down.
Will he come back?
We hope. We are trying to rescue him.
Where is he?
We think that he's at some other house. I don't know if these rats are not. They don't travel for miles. Maybe, I don't know.
I happen to know an awful lot about mice on a kind of getting rid of mine recently.
Yeah.
They can travel miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I would say
unerringly.
that they are very likely they took him to this big house over there. I mean, I would know how to describe it. Maybe.
Yeah, in a rat, because you can communicate to him. So this rat you're talking to sort of squeaks away to some of the other rats, and then comes back and says, "We know this place."
Yes. Oh, that is interesting. Do you know how to get in?
We know how we can get in.
Yeah, maybe even larger rats like me.
You are so big, though.
Yes.
Maybe.
Too much cheese.
And it kind of looks at you like, is there such a thing as too much cheese? I can't even conceive of. But they say no. The big old house. Yeah, they know it well.
Is there some kind of pool in the basement or so?
We have not been in there, but we could go.
Oh yeah. Because if we know where to find him, we could much more easily free him.
You were looking for the feeder. He is there?
We believe that he is there. We don't know for sure yet. And we can't find out because we cannot maybe go there unseen to find him. So if you can go, that would be very helpful.
He turns and squeaks with some of the other rats. He turns back and he says, it will be dangerous.
Yeah. It might be, yes. I can only I don't know. I can maybe take something out of the pantry maybe and offer it to them.
Sure. He kind of, as you're bringing it over, he sort of puts his paws up and says, the feeder, he doesn't chase us the way that others do. He does not drive us out of our warrens. It is dangerous, but we will find him.
Thank you very much.
And you see there's almost like a, I am Spartacus moment as all the little rats are kind of poking up from the field and you realize there's like 30 of them here. they're all quite happy to go and help this farmer who's been feeding the rats. So then they sort of disappear underneath and they head off in search of Farmer Clemens. I can tell you that you are not going to be disturbed during the day. I have rolled for that, and fortunately there are no random encounters. Now, anything else you guys wish to do?
I'm going to use my gadget specialist, which is just a feat, to make some armor plating, which I put in the chat there earlier.
Okay.
But that's just part of me crafting in the workshop.
Okay. It is closer to probably like late afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock or so. Basil, what are you doing? Maybe you're waking up from when you finally get your sleep. Before the assault, right? Golag has had to rest. Dr. Ursprung has had to work. So you wake up and you can see there is one of these rats standing on the end table.
Oh, so you're back.
The feeder lives.
Oh,
but he is hurt.
News.
He is near death.
We will go there soon. Yes, we will try to rescue him. And he's in the house we believed he was in.
We will take you.
Oh.
Yeah, you rolled pretty well on that diplomacy check. If you choose to take advantage of them, they are happy to offer their help.
Yeah, that's good. We need to wait till the evening. That will be. Otherwise, we will be.
You see his little nose kind of moves around. He says, "You are big. Yes. You think like a rat."
Yeah.
So what he can tell you as well is that there is a smaller window down on the, like, kind of in this going into the cellar. They think that it is like the people who are there think that it is secured, but it's actually broken. So they will certainly, you would be able to, even as big as you are, you would still be able to fit through that little window.
That is great. Was there any area of the house smelling like very intensively of fish?
There was he describes the cellar.
Yes.
In the cellar, there is a place that stinks of, and he describes it as being smelling like, you have to kind of ask back and forth, like, wait, do you mean, and you realize they're talking about Igor. In the cellar, there is a smell like fish and a smell like Igor.
Yeah, there's some machinery going on, yeah. Yeah.
He is on the, it takes, I'm going to spare you the, like, role-playing of a rat going back and forth. You understand that it is, the rat, it describes the farmer as being on the second floor in one of the rooms there. Okay. They also say that there are others that smell like fish.
Yes.
In there.
That is good. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. Yeah, there will be blood. I can promise as much.
So then, when Basil awakens, I don't think that Dr. Ursprung, or it's getting close to mid-afternoon or to later afternoon right now, closer to dinner time. The sun is getting lower in the sky. It's probably only a couple of hours until the note will be coming from Fualatoa. As you guys all get together in the main room, Basil, how do you share the evidence of or the information gathered by your spies?
Yeah. So I managed to befriend a bunch of local rats, and they told me that first of all, the farmer Clemens seems to be alive, and he's somewhere on the second floor, likely. And also there is a certain smell of fish and of people who smell like fish, maybe once possessed by the Dark Tide Riders, in the cellar. So I think that's where we have to go. But the rats also mentioned that there was some kind of apparatus or some kind of machinery in the cellar, and we need to be careful what this is. I don't know.
Was there any sighting of the sea devils spawn? Do you know?
No, I did not ask for that exactly because we had trouble communicating already about the different. So, and I would say, let me just say that the rats distinguish people by smell and not so much by shape. 4.
Okay. Okay.
So then, oh, go ahead.
We've
Baron.
identified a way in, have we?
Yeah, there is a broken window in the cellar. I could get in and maybe then open something for you.
Yeah, there's otherwise, broadly speaking, 3 different entrances to the place they could describe. If you, again, like, it's a little back and forth, but like the way that the feeders make their way in and out, there's the front door, there is a rear door, and then there is a servant's door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we could try. I think didn't Golek prepare some kind of invisibility spell we could use?
Yeah, it's good for 10 minutes, so we could do some reconnoitering if we wish to slowly move around. It's 10 feet. We all stay within the sphere for 10 minutes. It could be useful to determine what we're up against, where our farmer is, etc. Before revealing ourselves. Hopefully, it would be useful. It doesn't seem like the village would be unlikely to be able to defeat it. It would be my, defeat the magic would be my anticipation.
I'm just afraid that if they have some kind of really sophisticated machine in the cellar, that we are fighting on 2 different fronts here, and that would be maybe much more complex. I think we can manage a few of those Dark Tide Riders. We already found out that we can do that. But if they have something like a golem, for instance, I'm not so sure.
Like an Igor, you're thinking they'll have something to that effect?
Yeah. They said it would smell like Igor, so we don't really know what kind of machinery this is.
We'll want to be cautious of dogs as well, because they will not. The sphere will be unlikely to work against a scent-oriented creature.
Mm-hmm.
So keep our eyes up.
That is something curious. Remember what the dogs did when you guys approached here?
Oh, they were trying to get us into the house, right? They were bounding around outside.
I mean, the first time you guys were here?
Oh, the first time. They weren't they were threatening, no? When we got near the door, they were threatening.
Yeah. Yeah, whereas the dogs, you found them in the field.
Uh-huh. Oh, meaning like, why were they in the field? Perhaps?
Yeah, they ran away. Yeah.
Well, let's that's a fair point. We should search the field right where we found them, at least. I mean, like, it seems like they'd be there for a reason, or else they would have
If you think of it, have you seen any dogs in the town at all?
I guess not. I don't hasn't come up, no.
I don't doubt that you've heard them over the course of this mystery, but you haven't yet to see any in town.
Yeah. We were always thinking that this was ambient sound,
Exactly. So you just can hear Farmer Clemens' dogs continually from all the way over on his farm.
Right.
No, it could very
Golag
well.
will,
As you say, these things are creatures of scent, and having faced the Dark Tide Riders up close, they have a very particular odor.
Yeah.
So it's possible something's even buried out there, maybe in the field. Who knows? I don't think.
More so, I mean that it may have driven them off. You're concerned about dogs may be unfounded because dogs may not want to be around these fucking things.
Yeah. Golag doesn't have too much to do that night because his spell preparation, I believe, is in the morning. So he will, with his dark vision, go out and maybe just...
Well, hold on. You guys went out to go and do the poisoning overnight. You arrive back at the start of dawn. There isn't a night for you. You're going to have to sleep during the day.
Oh, I see.
Right? Because there's...
Yeah. We were up quite late because we didn't sleep for at least 1.5 days. So
Yeah.
I think it is really something we should and need to do.
So what were you thinking of looking for, though, Golag? You would probably have...
just checking out with the dogs at the field just in case there was something out there at some point.
No, they just seem to have been chased off into the field as opposed to come racing up towards you guys the way it did before.
Right on. Very good.
So then, anything else you guys wish to do?
I couldn't think of something.
Well, you will have 2 weeks to consider between now and next session, when there will be the assault on Horgan House. So, we have a chapter name there. These things write themselves. So then, let me bring us back to our main screen here. And for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 10. Yeah, part 10 of the Quiet Village by the Sea, which is soon to become anything but quiet. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, there's a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have channels dedicated to the Spires Paridar campaign, Pathfinder 2, as well as most other games we run on the channel and most other campaigns we have on the channel. In addition to those channels, there's tons of great channels over there for like finding a group or GM discussion or non-RPG chat. There's a great group of people who have make up the community over there, and you are more than welcome to join us over there. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. I'm telling them, Anna. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have a great selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, and if they happen to not have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and then they'll send you an email when it comes in, and if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code FALLMUSER, all caps, all one word, and you'll save yourself 10% on your purchase. There is also, if you're listening to this at another time, after January 15th, 2024, then just come to one of our more recent videos and you'll find the updated discount code. We also have a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in a bunch of different regions right now. It keeps, the unfortunate reality is they keep having new regions added on. But if you want to learn about SOS Children's Villages International, you can follow that link, and all donations that go through that link go directly to them to assist with the benefits that they provide for the kids who benefit from their services. As a small way of saying thank you, over this past year, we have been running a year-long campaign called the Year of Ill Omens. Every part of the 6-part campaign has been voted on by the donors to that charity and have helped shape what will be coming to a dramatic conclusion in 2 weeks' time. On November 25th, we'll be playing the final session. Donors have voted on the game we're playing, the types of characters we play, the era we're playing in, and the location of the adventures, and it's made for a really fun year of sessions. I look forward to wrapping up with a very dramatic session set in the 1980s with our heroes playing paranormal investigators, unlicensed paranormal investigators at that, using the now classic, I guess, D20 modern system. So I'm looking forward to that final session of that. Last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart illuminators. So, Sean, Ingolf, and Darren, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. This was a ton of fun. I can't wait to see what happens when you assault Horgan House. And we will be seeing when that happens in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our stalwart illuminators are uncovering and trying to thwart. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.